Module 22, The Civil War, Part 2. For the remainder of this module, we'll continue our discussion of the Civil War, focusing on the central issue of the war itself, slavery. We'll start with an examination of the role enslaved people played in dismantling the Confederacy from the inside. Despite Lincoln's reluctance to emancipate slaves at the outset of the war, enslaved people chose to leave the South as soon as the war began, arriving as fugitives at Union lines. They forced the Union Army to develop a policy to accept them as, quote, contraband of war, and provided essential intelligence to the Union cause. In 1863, Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, which freed slaves within any state in rebellion against the U.S., and allowed black men to serve in the military. We'll examine the experiences of black soldiers and the threat they posed to the economic, social, and cultural order of the Confederate South. Then we'll turn to the social, cultural, and gender divisions in the North and South, including the role of women in both sides of the conflict. We'll conclude the module with a look at the last battles of the Civil War and the aftermath of the conflict. What was to be done with all of the newly emancipated freed people? How did Americans cope with the levels of death and suffering they experienced during the war? How did Americans treat Civil War veterans? Our required readings for this module will conclude with another Memory Palace episode detailing one enslaved man's decision to free himself in the context of war. We can do it, everybody! Good luck!